Alright, hi guys. So I just wanted to start off this video by apologising for the fact that I just completely forgot to make one yesterday. That's not happened before. I don't really know how that happened. I guess just because, obviously I got back from Euros a couple of days ago and I've been incredibly busy and also incredibly tired, which is never a good combination. It does seem to be, for me at least, the longer I'm away, the more stuff I have to do when I get back. I guess that probably makes sense. But yeah, as I've said, I was utterly shattered when I got back, and yeah, just completely forgot yesterday. So obviously, I'll try not to do that again. I am aware that the videos the last week or so have been inconsistent at best. Hopefully, that will not be the case going forward. But yeah, just generally, I've kind of crashed after Euros, and it reminded me of a thing that I've seen a few people say in different circles. I have various friends that go to different conventions of many different kinds, and within those circles I've heard a lot of people talk about post-con depression, post-convention depression. And similarly, one of my favourite bands is an Argentinian band called Siamese, and in one of their recent albums, I can't actually remember which one, but they have a song called Post-Tour Depression. And generally speaking, it's the same kind of thing where you're away doing something, you're on a big high doing something that you really love doing, and then as soon as it finishes, and you're especially if it's been a really intense period over a not very long space of time, as soon as it finishes and you go back home to normal life or whatever, you just come completely crashing down and you feel just terrible. And obviously, a few of you probably know I'm no stranger to depression, and I definitely do get post-comp depression, especially for big comps like Euros, majors, all sort of things like that. So yeah, I think that is probably just the period that I'm in right now because, obviously Euros was a great deal of fun. It was long, it was tiring, but it was a lot of fun. And then I came back here and immediately had to confront the fact that I don't have any money. And, that I have various things that I want to do, go to more comps and all of that, but that I just, can't do. So I sent off 3 more job applications last night because I started looking again because I know I need to, and I was going to do 3 more as well because I found 3 more that sounded interesting and I thought I'd have a shot at. And unfortunately, I couldn't do any of those. That second lot of 3, I couldn't do any of them due to fucking website glitches, of all things. So there were two of the jobs were on the same website, for the same company and all of that. They were just different positions, and they both had the same problem, which was on one of the pages of questions. There was a form you had to fill in on the website. There were a load of questions that were just, you basically had to answer yes or no to whichever one it happened to be. Otherwise it would just automatically filter you out, right? It was basic things like, do you have any criminal convictions, right? And do you agree to the terms and conditions and all of that. And some of them literally only had that one checkbox, especially the do you agree to the terms one. There was just the one checkbox that says yes, and that was it. And obviously it's a required field, but you just tick yes, and then it's all fine. And there was one particular question. I say question, it wasn't really a question, it was a I agree statement, on the use of AI in application processes. You just had to say you'd read through some guidance and all of that. And I've applied to jobs in this same place before, so I've done all that already. So I just, was going to tick yes, except for the fact that there just wasn't a tick box for yes, next to the question. And the question directly below it was literally, I think it was the have you read and agreed to the terms and conditions one. And that one had a tick box next to it. Only one option, which was yes, obviously, and it was a required field, so you had to tick it before you could carry on. And I did that, and that existed for that question, but for the one above, the guidance one, whatever, it just didn't exist. So because it was a required field, it wouldn't let you carry on with the application or submit it or whatever unless you ticked it, but there was nothing there to tick. So and it was the same for both jobs as well, which is really annoying. But hopefully the fact that it is obviously a theme amongst multiple applications, hopefully that means that someone's going to notice eventually and fix it, because the only way that you can get in contact with them is by calling someone on the phone, and that is one thing that I definitely don't want to do. I hate having to make phone calls. I would much rather send an email, but sadly they didn't have an option for that. So yeah, I don't know. The application processes, I believe, are open for a while yet, so hopefully someone notices in time and I can go back and finish them, because it would be nice. And then the other one was actually a very similar problem. The very first page, it was like the personal details thing. At the bottom, it has the like save and come back later option or the continue option. And the save and come back later, you know, takes you to the main dashboard where you can see like your application status and like other random stuff. And after I'd done the first page of stuff, I clicked on continue, and it just took me back to the same page that the other button did, the save and continue later button. And so, you know, I was a bit confused because it came up with your application is incomplete, please make sure you finish it, and all of that nonsense. So I clicked on it, like clicked on that button to go back to and finish it, and it just took me back to the personal details page, the first page. So I literally can't fill in the next page at all, which is really annoying. And it's like, obviously I don't like, I don't know, obviously I want to do these job applications because I need a job, but it's frustrating that for literally 3 of them I have been unable to complete the applications through no fault of my own because of some glitch or fault in the website. So yeah, that's really annoying. That's one of the many things. I'm not going to edit this video, by the way. I've got other stuff that I, again, need / want to be getting on with, looking for jobs being definitely one of them. But yeah, it's just been, I just kind of have been so just sort of like shattered, and like I've just come on a complete crash the last few days, after Euros, because you know it was a big trip. It's the biggest trip I've done since last Euros. Although I mean, maybe Strathclyde is kind of close to that, but it certainly feels like it is. It's the first time I've been abroad since last Euros, and so yeah, it was really just exhausting all across the board, and now having to get back into, you know, doing all of the stuff that I normally do, with, you know, the endless list of jobs and stuff that I need to catch up on that I would have done in that time. Yeah, it's gonna be a while, I think, before I get back to, you know, having not quite as much to do, and feeling, you know, not terrible about, you know, the future and all of that. So yeah, I don't really know, but hopefully I'll be able to continue to remember to do these videos daily at the very least. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, I feel like I've been talking for too long, so I'm going to get back on with the stuff I actually need to do. So yeah, that's about it today. See you tomorrow.